Showtime. Hello, welcome back. This is Cardiff City World. It's Saturday Night Live with Rhys David Evans. I'm your host, Evan James. Rhys, how are we?
Not bad. Still annoyed there's no news from the club. How about yourself?
Yeah, I can't get excited yet. See, I want to get excited, but I just can't because in a heartbeat, they're going to appoint someone who nobody's heard of out of all the candidates that we've been told or rumored to have interviews. And then we end up getting no one we've heard of because that's what's happened before. So, yeah, I'm both nervous and excited. But I think as soon as I know who's in charge, even if it's not the biggest name, I can start to get excited for hopefully some kind of rebuild. I just want to see it clear out at this point. There's so much I want to see change. I'm just anything they do to the club now that's even slightly positive, I'll just celebrate it like it's my next birthday, you know? So, yeah.
In that case, then I wouldn't read the fan minutes of the last fan advisory board. It's not good reading.
Well, I mean, I think I've seen bits and bobs of it, but it's not looking great. But yeah. Evening, by the way, evening, Matt, getting in the comments here. Evening, John. Ready for time to screw us over and hire the wrong guys. Yes, John, this is exactly my worry. And I hate to start negative, but it's just because I'm smiling now, but I'm just not looking forward to it. Yeah, and we had the playoffs today as well. I saw quite a lot of that. Glad Sunderland beat Sheffield today. I was almost rooting for Sheffield in a way. I don't know why. I just think, I don't know, I don't really want to see Sheffield again in the Championship. But then I always remember, oh, wait, we won't have to face them next season, sadly. Yeah, even Jamie as well. Fortunately, it's Tan that gets the decision regardless of the feedback from the professionals. Yeah, well, you know, they can go one or two ways. But yeah, evening Sarah as well, Graham. I swear I see like one member or so that isn't actually a member of Cardiff City World. So if you're not, please become a member. Again, it's cheap as chips as the price. And, you know, you get access to exclusive shows. And you also, especially in this time when we really need the video ideas, you get to suggest video ideas to us. It's going to be a long summer. Hopefully we'll have loads of news as well, but we need other things to cover. And today we're going to do an all-time loans 11 because last week we did the, I call them the all-time flops 11, but for the purpose of the video, we named a bit more PG. Yeah, any surprises you think you'll have in your 11 today?
See, I've got one. And I don't want to say his name, so I'm tempted to take him out and put someone else in.
No, you can't. It's decided now. It's decided. You've had your time. Because I literally struggled at one position as well. But yeah, before we just get into it as well, guys, I just recently, the past few weeks or so, we've just had an overwhelming amount of support. And, you know, from everyone at Cardiff City World, we just want to say thanks for the support. You know, please keep sharing it. Like, I literally get my family watching this now, and it's great that I guess a few extra subscribers. And by the time, this is something that you probably haven't heard, by the time that we reach 2,000 subs, which we're on a 1.24k, so that's really good going. I think we've gained about like 200 subs in the last month or so by looks of things. At least that's how it seems. But by the time we get 2,000 subs, we'll be uploading twice a day. So makes it even all the more better for us, I know. But yeah, we really appreciate it and keep the support going, keep sharing, and again, become a member if you haven't. But right, let's get into the all-time loans 11. So I guess we want to do just one by one. What formation have you gone with, first of all?
I thought I'd spice up. I went for something called a 4-2-3-1.
Oh, I haven't heard that one. How does that one work?
Standard. Absolute standard.
God. Oh, we're going back to bullet ball, is it? Oh, dear.
Well, a 4-2-3-1 can work. I mean, some teams play successfully.
Yeah, see, the thing is, though, I feel like I have 4-2-3-1 PTSD at this point. No, it's just the starting formation again, but like it's just, I'm almost sick of it now. I went for a classic 4-3-3 with the defensive midfield I have, just because I only wanted one striker to put up there. I don't think we've had, at least in my time watching football, we haven't had many successful lone strikers. But yeah, let's just start from the bottom. Let's go with goalkeeper. So I'll ask you first. Who have you gone for your all-time lone goalkeeper?
Tom Heaton. Absolute quality when he came in on loan from United. It was that good. We ended up signing him like 2 years later, I think it was, on a free. But again, Tom Eaton was just quality. I think when you look at the keepers we signed on loan back end, he stands out amongst them all. Like, I mean, for me, Tom Eaton, number one.
Well, contrary to popular belief, I actually didn't think of a goalkeeper off the top of my head. So I literally used the one position I really struggled on, because I think for as far as I've watched, I think we've had like 2 lone keepers. I think one of them was Alex Runnison, and I was not going to put him in there, just so you know. But I had a chat with Rhys before we went live. Cassius Schmeichel, I completely forgot about him. And again, he was a bit before my time, but we already know how quality he is. Son of Peter Schmeichel. But I literally didn't have much else to say. I haven't been there long enough to see. The only one I really know is Alan McGregor, and I don't know enough about him to do that. But yeah, that was kind of my goalkeeper. I mean, David Marshall kept flicking in my head, but I realized he wasn't alone. He's a permanent. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't have much to say on that one. Do you want to go left back or right back first?
Just to play with Jonathan's comment, Tom Eaton was on loan first. We had him on loan for United, and we signed him permanently, I think a year or 2 after we did. Originally, he was on loan. What do I do? Left back, is it?
Whichever, mate, you choose.
So I couldn't think of a left back. So what I did was I picked my right back and put him on left back. So my left back is Cody Dramer.
Oh, yeah.
Like, again, I always say I'd never fall in love with loan players. And I do it all the time. He was outstanding. Bombing forward, putting balls in the box, tackling, pace. Like, he had it all. What I would do to get him back at the club, a right back. I mean, we had NG the last 2 years as a player of the year. Cody Dramer was just head and shoulders above him, in my opinion. So I had to put him left back. I couldn't think of any other left backs, and I know he's a right back. But
he had the pace that Perry just didn't have, and he's just bombing up and down. I think he had the stamina as well, if I'm being honest. And he's actually my right back. So when we do it, I'll have to flip. When you say your right back, I'll say my left back. But I got a feeling I know who your. Wait, so that was your left back?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think now. I'm not sure if my left back played on the right at all, but I went with Ryan Giles. So I can't remember a lot about him. I just know he largely played as a wing back. I think he got injured for a portion of it. I know some people said Wilson Esperand. I think we got some comments as well. We had one before the video as well, which I'll pull up just after so if I can find it. Oh, there we go. Got it for afterwards. And they put Wilson Esperand. But again, I don't think he played much. I think he played a few games and got injured that his loan was over. So a lot of them, it could have been, but unfortunately, it's like, I don't know, for me, you have to get at least 8-9 games with them to see what they're about. But again, I can't remember how many Giles had. Centre-backs.
One of the most handsome men going, Dutch Glenn Louvens. What a centre-half he was. I mean, when he first came on loan from, I think it was Feyenoord, you could see he was a cut above in quality. He was absolutely outstanding as centre-half when he first came in, Louvens was. So for me, he's definitely there. I mean, again, we've had some decent players on loan, but for me, he's one of the best centre-halves we've had on loan.
Wish I was there to see it, if I'm being honest. But I am checking the comments as well to see what you guys put in as well. So get your comments in as well. Some people saying Cody Dramer. Is it Lloyd Samuel?
Lloyd Samuel.
Any good of a player?
If I remember correctly, he was a bit of a drinker, wasn't he? God rest his soul, unfortunately, he's recently passed away. But we had him alone back the year we were chasing promotion, and I think they went out drinking, the team did. That's the story went, and then we lost to Borough, I think, on the Monday game. We were 2-0 down within like 10 minutes, I think it was. It was ridiculous. Norwich went up that year. We ended up in the playoffs. I think we lost to Reading. I was at the home game, it was shocking, and then Swansea beat Reading in the final.
Oh yeah, Benkovic and Barnett. I'm not sure if there's satire, at least with Benkovic. I think he played like one game for us, if that. I genuinely don't remember. I don't even think the game was televised on the appearance that Benkovic made, which is a shame.
Odd one, that wasn't it? Who's your
He was from Leicester, yeah, I think it was. I think Leicester in the Premier League, and we weren't playing them. I don't know. Gabadon.
Was he on loan?
I don't
know. I don't remember Gab's on loan or something.
Oh, well, we might come back to someone in the comments. Might clear it up. But for my first centre back, again, this is probably my most controversial one. I know you might not agree with it, but it's Nat Phillips. I think. Look, this is right. If you take away the fact that he's a Liverpool loanee, okay, and just take him as a player, right? I think he was really good. I found that he was quite composed, but at the same time, I know every centre back has a mistake in them, and he was one of those that he wasn't giving me the shivers or anything like that. But I just felt like I was waiting for him to make a mistake, and that's something you never want to have in a centre back. But for the large part of it, he did his job well, and again, I don't know many lone centre backs, but I don't know. I just felt like he did enough. I think that he could have done more knowing he's from Liverpool, but he's been loaned out to so many different clubs. I still think, he got loaned out to Derby. He's still probably looking for a permanent club now, and I feel like I hate when I see some players, they go their whole career and they're just being loaned out from a big club. At one point, you've got to feel like, right, you've got to move somewhere. And I felt like he could have become a permanent Cardiff signing because he wasn't exceptional, but he did the job sort of thing. And that's all I really knew.
See, for me, I just always found he switched off far too much. He did. I think it cost us quite often when he did switch off. I wasn't impressed by him enough to put him in my 11. I'll say that.
I was thinking Dion Sanderson, but again, that was quite bad. I just remember that the red card he got for, was it handball, isn't it? What was it against Swansea, wasn't it? Did he handball it to get away? I think he did something stupid, I think, and he got sent off. I think it was like he tried to be the keeper or something by handballing away from the goal. It was something like that. Someone will get the comments. But that was the one thing I always hated about him. Just like, if he got beaten, he would just try to do something absolutely reckless because he didn't like being beat at all. I see some people have already mentioned my next pick, and I think I know who your next centre back pick is. So have you said one of your centre backs yet? Or?
So one, I've said my second yet.
Okay, go on then.
Cedric Kipri.
Yeah, same.
Again, that relegation fight season. He was a ruthless at the last. Like again, he scored goals. He was a lead at the back. I think he covered us quite a few times. Cedric Kipri. He was a proper old school centre half as well. When he stuck in, wasn't afraid of a challenge. I can't say any bad words about him. I liked him. I loved him. I thought
the Rotherham game just. Oh man, and it wasn't just that he scored. I think on the last game before, because obviously I know there was a point deduction for Reading. But if it wasn't for his contribution, especially against Rotherham, we would have gone down. And he scored that. What I don't get right is when he scored that goal, right? He's thinking this is high enough for him to header it in, like a diving header. He absolutely volleys it in the in the top of the net, like as if he knew he was going to do it like a proper well-seasoned striker. But it was crazy, the kind of sort of it just sees so much aggression. He just reminded me a lot of Sol Bamba. Yeah, Sol Bamba energy. I believe he's Ivory Coast as well. But just kind of that sort of Sol Bamba energy. And I think obviously under the influence of him when Lamucci was there. But we just missed someone like that. Again, prone to mistake. Like West Brom was he's prone to mistake and all that. I would have happily taken him on a permanent. It's a shame that he didn't stay. But yeah, I think he went back into the West Brom first team for a bit, kind of rotated, but now he's gone elsewhere.
I think it's French second division, I think that was, isn't he? Or French.
That's a shame, man, because he could have played in the first division, really. Maybe, obviously, not the bigger clubs, but I think it's a bit of disservice, really. But yeah, my right back then, it was going to actually be my left back. We already said, haven't we? Because we both said Cody Dramer.
That's my left back. So
we have your right back, have we?
That's Dion Sanderson.
Oh, really?
I thought he was young, excited. I thought he had a bit of pace for him. I thought it was something we were lacking for a while. I thought he fitted the role brilliantly for us as the right back. There's a few I could have picked, like Aussie Tutti. I think when he first came on, he looked the part, to be fair to him, and then injuries plagued him. Kira Gilbert, again, I thought he looked good when he came on loan first of all. Unfortunately, he only played a few months for us and left and never came back. But yeah, for me, Dion Sanderson.
I've just seen a good shout here. Armband Traore. I'm not sure if that's intentional, but Armand Traore. I think he scored. He scored one goal and got injured, I think. I think he was like a left back, I'm pretty sure. Then they ended up playing him at left wing or something. I don't know what happened there. That was seasons ago now I think about it.
I remember that actually. Below that comment by Jamie, I remember that Brad Smith came along from Bournemouth. And I'm sure it was Bournemouth he had him loan for, and there was all this talk about how he was highly rated Liverpool. They thought he was going to be the next best thing. He just needed game time. He's going to smash you for us at left back, and did absolutely goal.
Same said about Jack Simpson, hey? Oh, they all said, oh, he's a really good passer though. He's really good attacking. Yeah, but can he defend? They just didn't answer the question.
Don't need to defend. You don't need to defend. He can pass.
Exactly. Callum Chambers can do that, innit? Yeah, got no pace, can't defend, but there you are. Oh, there you are. Rightio. So you said you've gone for a classic 4-2-3-1, so you may as well start with one of your defensive midfielders, or have you gone more box to box?
I've got one defensive midfielder, one number 8 deep line.
Okay, go on then.
My number 8 is Olofinjana.
No idea.
We had him alone from Wolves years ago. I thought he was outstanding in that 6 role. He was getting stuck in, winning the ball back. It was absolutely brilliant, I thought, Olofinjana was. There's a few I was thinking of picking. Maybe going all out attack. I loved Olofinjana. I thought he was brilliant for us when he came on loan. I mean, he would bully everyone. I remember he scored a goal and denied taller with snow. And he was just... He just seemed to actually love the club, love the city. I was gutted when he left. It was such a great guy he was, to be fair to him. But yeah, he was quality for us.
Evening, Rob, as well. Nice to see you as well. This is the name I haven't heard. Carrie Gilbert?
That's what I said earlier. I said I was stuck thinking of maybe him.
Oh, right.
He had him alone from Arsenal under Dave Jones. He came a right back and he was young, exciting, fast, up and down. Like a modern right back should be now. He was ahead of his time. He only played a few. I think he played 4 months for us, and then he went back to Arsenal. He did.
Okay, I had a shout you right. Jamie said one now. Little does he know that last week he was in my all-time 11 flops. So Harry Arter. And look, I mean, everyone's entitled to the opinion. I'm sure he did all right, but I think when I put him in there, it was more the disappointing, the fact that he always would just get a yellow card at least. He's guaranteed something. And I just felt like, to me, he didn't do enough to be Premier League quality. But I mean, fair enough, man. He made his presence known on the pitch. That's one thing I'll give him for. This is something I didn't think I'd pick. But when I think of it now, I'm thinking, you know what? He was actually a really decent player. He just wasn't good enough to play first team for his original club. And that's Sivert Mansberg. I think if we had him from the start of the season, we would have seen a lot more of him. And I think when he first started, it was instant impact. He was quite raw. And to be fair, I've never seen a number 6 so attacking. I know Siopis was all over the place, but Mansberg was at one point on his first or second game. He was playing right wing, then he was playing midfielder, then he was back in the number 6. And I just think his ball control, his touch and everything, in all the chaos of the games we had where we absolutely dire in so many performances, he was the one person that would literally control the ball on the ground, and everyone else was just shocking passes. And he was just that one sort of magnet where the ball kind of stuck to his feet. Again, I don't think he set the world alight, and I don't think he won't get in the Ajax first team, unfortunately. But at the same time, he's too good to come back on a permanent for us. At least I think you'd have to chuck a lot of money. And with how big our wages are for the club at the moment, that's not going to happen. And also considering we're in League One. But it's something I would take back if we had another season loan at any point.
I felt for him a bit because I think it was Portsmouth away, one of the worst performances of the season for us. He was putting balls in positions where he's expecting runners to go on the end of things. And the rest of the team weren't thinking that far ahead, so they were nowhere near the ball. He'd put it into space and there'd be no runners for it. So he was seeing things others couldn't see. And it's tough because you've got to sort of not dull your ability down a bit, but you've got to stop and think, right, they're not going to see this run, so I can't put the ball there now. And I think that stifled him a bit. I think if he was on better players, you see top performances most weeks. I think he was seeing things that we could only dream of others seeing.
But I see that as the Ramsey and Cole thing as well. Of when Ramsey first came and he was playing, and And even though he's not the fastest player, and he's got like half a leg missing now, like obviously metaphorically, but it's just the fact that like even though he wasn't the fastest, he was quick reactions, he was making things happen. And again, it was almost like he was playing balls where it looked like they were bad passes, but it was just the fact that he expects the players to be running those positions, that he's used to players with maybe a higher football IQ to like learn when to make runs. And you could see like you get a bit frustrated. And I'd hate that when you see good players come in and they're frustrated because their just level of thinking is on another level to our players. And I just know thinking, oh yeah, he's not going to be here for long. It's that kind of thing. But yeah, so your number 8, I've got 2 number 8s, effectively 2 box-to-boxes. I'll say one's more of an attacking midfielder. You named your number 8, didn't you?
I did my number 6. I haven't named my number 8 yet.
Okay, go on then.
This is the hard of me. This was now because I was struggling between 3 different people. In the end, I settled on Aaron Ramsey on his loan spell, and it was tough because I wanted to put Gary O'Neill there, and then I was thinking Danny Drinkwater had a fantastic loan spell with us. There's a few I could put there. There's a few I could put there. In the end, I had to settle on Ramsey because my front line is just that much stronger. I think he would complement them ahead of him. So yeah, I've gone for Aaron Ramsey.
Yeah, I mean, I could have picked the obvious as aware of Gary O'Neill and Aaron Ramsey. I watched the video earlier from Simon. I didn't realize it was posted, but yeah, it was earlier. I think it was about midday, where he said about Gary O'Neill, the potential of being a manager, and he mentioned that it was only like 9 games or something, but it was everyone was rating him highly. So with me, I've gone for my number 8 or box to box, and I don't think anyone's mentioned it yet. We'll see. I don't think so. Correct me if I'm wrong. Tommy Doyle. I was very impressed with him. I think one that kind of went under the radar. Again, he was a player from Man City. We knew we weren't going to get a permanent. I think he went up to Sheffield Wednesday then. I think that was a loan. I'm not sure what he is now. Is he? He's not a
Wolves. So you went to Sheffield United on loan and got promoted with them.
Yeah.
He scored a worldie of a goal in the FA Cup for him. He did. But yeah, I fucking love Tommy Doyle.
Oh, and yeah.
That was the season I started taking my brother to his first sort of proper season of Cardiff games. And he was the example I used in him. Like, don't fall in love with lone players because it's likes of him will be too good for us. They will be way too good for us. I will not want to see the likes of them again unless they're playing against us in a cup game or something. He was outstanding. I think he was on this season. He's at Wolves now. I think it was Brighton they played against. And Brighton broke through against Wolves. There was like three attackers against just Tommy Doyle, and he won the ball back on his own. Outstanding. I love Tommy Doyle. He could pick a pass, great engine, scored a few decent goals for us as well.
We need to do one for like the underrated 11. I feel like that'll be a good one. But then again, I think we've find a few players might overlap. But yeah, so be it if it was. I just feel like so many players don't get the attention they deserve. Everyone's quick to point out when someone's done a howler or someone's a flop with the club, let's say. But very little do we give like the players who kind of do the dirty work and don't really get the limelights. It usually is your box-to-box midfielders or your defenders. They just don't get the same treatment, which is a shame. But so Tommy Doyle, I just remember when I think he had the free kick when he hit the bar, and everyone it was like watching fireworks. Everyone's reactions to it and all that. It got people out of their seats, and there's not many players who've done that for us. There is another one I've got that did get us out of our seats, but that's at the right wing position. I have got one more midfielder, and I'm assuming you have as well.
So I've got a front 3 midfielder in front of these two, and I got a 10 and 2 wingers. I want to give an honourable shout out to Inamoto, a Japanese lad we had on loan years ago. Same time as Gary O'Neill. No, Inamoto was. I think it was Inamoto. Unichi Inamoto, I think it was. Quality, I thought he was at the time. I remember I accidentally dyed my hair and looked like him at one point, so my nickname for like 6 months was Inamoto.
Yeah, so definitely nostalgia. More nostalgia from Rhys' side than mine, I think. But yeah, it's nostalgia for me. Say that.
It's sad. The sad thing is, right, is I remember when these players signed, how young some of them were, and now most of them are retiring or retired. And it's like, I still have that dream of everyone's injured. They need someone from the stands to go on the pitch and fill a slot. And I have to look at other people now because I'm thinking I can't even get up without my body cracking and clicking.
Oh, God. It's a bit like... Who's this referred to? Is he built like his dad, John? I can't remember who that was referring to. Maybe when we was talking earlier. So my attacking midfielder then, I'm sure you've got him as well, is Harry Wilson.
Ooh.
And I could have put him the right wing. I chose to put him attacking midfielder. I think he was almost wasted at right wing. It's the most bizarre thing ever. I can't. Who has played in attack? We said this last week, I think.
Bacuna. So
yeah,
Neil Harris played Bacuna, number 10. Harry Wilson on the wing, and he just what the fuck is going on there? It was madness.
Absolutely boggles my mind.
Absolute madness that was.
Basically, every wing I can play attacking midfielder. Not to say it can be done the other way around, as we find with Chris Willock, but I don't know. You have a player on loan, right? And he's got that amount of quality. He's got so many playmaking abilities, and you choose to isolate him on the wing, and you tell him to stay wide and just like cut him away with a ball box. That was absolutely crazy. And again, my football knowledge isn't amazing, but I just knew like no, just put him in the middle. And for the large part of his career, he played as an attacking midfielder anyway for the youth team for Liverpool, I believe. But yeah, I just thought what a waste. And I think like he scored that game. He got a hat trick. Don't know who it was against, but like I was like, oh my god. There's not many teams. Oh, it was the last game, was it?
I think the last game of the season, Birmingham away, you had a hat trick.
Oh. Well, he literally, there's not many players I know, who have got a hat trick. I think he's the only player I know who's got a hat trick for the club as far as I know. I think the only person that came close, was Bobby Decordova-Reid scoring 2 goals in one game. I think that was it. I don't even know if it was true, but yeah, it's crazy, man. And to think that we didn't go up that season because we had Kiefer Moore as well. Yeah, and what a shame to lose him as well. But the partnership there, it was just like, was thinking there's no way these players are staying. So, I have to enjoy them while they lasted, isn't it?
Well, I haven't got Harry Wilson on my side.
Oh, you haven't?
This midfield 3 is the hardest for me completely.
Yeah.
Because I was having an argument with Harry Wilson. My left wing is a controversial one. I sort of swapped it the last minute I did.
Go on then.
So yeah, my left winger is now Jason Kumas on my left wing now. Originally, it was going to be Wayne Routledge, the Jack bastard, because when we had him on loan, I think at the time.
I did know he came on loan to us.
Yeah, before he signed for QPR, the permanent, he went for money over us. He did. We had him on loan for us, and he was everything we were missing at the time. He was out and out wing now with pace, trickery, and skill. Take the Swansea thing out of it, he looked absolutely amazing for us. He did Routledge. I thought he looked quality. And then obviously QPR came with the money and he went there, and then later on Swansea and done what he done there. So I kind of crossed his name out then because of the Swansea links and put Kumas on the left wing instead.
Oh, okay. Oh God, let's skip through these here. Well, do you want my left or my right wing?
Go left wing one.
I think again, it's someone I think you've got, but I'm not sure. I go in with Colin Grant. I think. Look, I'm not. I'll be honest, right? I'm not a fan of confidence players. I get it, okay. He was a big confidence player, and I think as well from West Brom, he needed that sort of step down to maybe a less. Like, I'll admit it, right? We would obviously it was was it the relegation season? No, it wasn't. It was literally last season. Was it the first season with Bullet where we finished 12th? I think without him, we wouldn't have finished anywhere near 12th. I think a couple of injuries, I think here and there, but like, look, he could play striker or left wing. Finishing could be a bit improved, but I gotta say, like, if you compare him to like Chris Willock, night and day difference. It makes me realize how much I appreciate it when we have like wingers like who didn't have any pace, and he had pace. And when if he scored a goal, for the next 3 games you'd have amazing performances. You would do it, and his link up as well with Ramsey. A couple of times I saw it, and it was just like, oh my god, this is it. But again, it was one of those of like we were never going to get him back. I just thought that like I genuinely was saying like, look, we need we was crying out for a proper striker. I said just chuck him up front. I think one game we actually did do it, or we kind of rotated him. I don't even think it's like he's got the best finishing. It's just the fact that he was so fast that he made defenders panic. Like if you knew you were guarding him on the wing, I would be scared because he just had that lightning pace about him. And I think the difference between him and Josh Murphy is that he could actually dribble. So it
was one of those where Murphy was, like I said, his confidence player. Where the first attack of the game, if he beat his man, he'd have a good game. If he failed to beat his man, he would struggle. Callum Grant was just a workhorse, and I mean, and at most respect, he would bully a left back to get past them. He would run his socks off to get back to win the ball back. He would play it forward. He'd find space. Like our wingers have his habit now, like Willock on the left now. He'd stop, cut back in on his right, looked across on his right. It's too easy to defend against. Callum Grant wasn't scared to go on the outside to put the ball in or cut inside. So it gave defenders a tough choice to make. I thoroughly loved Callum Grant. I would have taken him back in a heartbeat this year. I thought we needed the likes of him. Unfortunately, it didn't happen for us all. But another one I was thinking about putting in the site in my team, but I couldn't fit him in this all, unfortunately. If I got a subs bench, he'd probably make it.
Someone said earlier, he'd be Tommy Dolby, the first name on my bench. I thought that was almost like an insult to him to be like. I'm not sure Rob Ball agrees on one of mine. I'm not sure which one that was. Maybe he didn't like it, did he not? Rob was it Carlin? Is it Carlin Grant?
Carlin Grant, Rob wasn't a big fan of. All fart, no poop, as he calls it. Well, again,
I get it, but
I think we've seen this year, though, how well he did by seeing what we lacked there this year. Like when El Ghazi played, he wasn't tracking back to defend and help out Callum down to left back.
No.
He wasn't offering much going forward. When Willock come on, he didn't offer much going forward. I think Callum Grant was something we really lacked there.
I think I'm just one as well. I really like workhorses, like people who are just like, I know they put a shift in, even if they're not the best talent in the squad. I picked that up as a coach myself. I picked that with my players. You know, every time I see them, like, look, in basketball, I know this is not related, but like, I will say this now: if I miss an easy basket or if I make a stupid mistake, I won Defensive Player of the Season a couple of seasons ago because if I made a mistake, I'd be sprinting back and making sure they didn't score me. I'd foul them or do anything. I wouldn't let them score me. And in terms of football sense, is that there were very few people that did this, and Bullet was a big thing on like 11 men behind the ball. I think that kind of hurt us in a bit. Because obviously it meant we had almost no attacking options on the counter, but at the same time, it's like you know his defensive work rate was way better than what we've had recently. Anyway, go on.
Go on.
No, I was gonna carry on then, but go on.
No, I was going to say, but you said about then like a workhorse. I think you look at all the cult heroes. They've all got that same thing about them, where they just will run non-stop to get the ball back. Graham Kavanagh did it. And you look at Ken McNaughton run to a brick wall to get the ball back. Don Cowie was a workhorse. I mean, some of the most loved players at our club we've had are players who will run non-stop for 90 minutes, doing the dirty stuff. I mean, we've had players who come with a flashy tech. I mean, Ravel Morrison had the technical ability and stuff. Maybe he didn't play enough to win that title, but what I mean is you've got players who come in with all the ability in the world, but we don't take to them like we take to the ones who come and just absolutely run themselves into the ground. Because we appreciate the hard work more, because to us it makes it look like they care more.
I think, sorry, we will move on in this next got a couple more, but I will just say quick that like this is why I love Callum Patterson and Aaron Gunnison so much. Because Callum Patterson, you stick him in goals, you stick him at striker, midfield, right back. I mean, he was a right back, but he said, when they said to Warnock, said, yeah, we got a guy now, right? His name's Callum Patterson. He's a right back. He said he can't really defend, but he's the most physical, like Scottish man you've ever seen, and he will do anything. And to be fair to him, I loved him best when he was in midfield because he would just barge players out of the way. And I remember one time where we had a throw-in to take and we were losing like 2-1, and this championship defender was kind of blocking Patterson's way to take a throw-in. He literally just ran to the back and just bashed him out of the way. Ref didn't even give a card or nothing. Everyone was like cheering and everything like that. It's just absolute sort of like, I say shithousery, but like just the aggression like that players have like that. You don't get in so many players. And again, it tends to be, not always, but tends to be the more talented the player is, the less they work because they already know they're good enough. And that's the thing. See, a lot of players, they were really good players, but they knew that, you know, they just had the humbleness to them, thinking like, no, I've got to prove, I've got to show that I'm fighting for this badge. But yeah, let's move on anyway. I've said my left winger. Who have you got for your winger, or which one?
I said my left winger. My left winger was Kumas. I got a right wing left now. My right winger is Craig Bellamy from the 2010 season on loan.
Here we are. You can stop in the comments going on about me now leaving out Bellas.
I thought he was absolute. Again, he was everything we needed. I think we beat Portsmouth 4-0. And if I remember correctly, we had Telahim, I think it was, maybe Oroshina was sent off because he couldn't handle Bellamy. He tore him apart. It might have been Ruben Rashina. He just tore him apart. He did. I just remember, he was absolute quality, Bellamy, was that year. And that goal against the Jacks as well. Like, at their place, Bothroyd to Ramsey, Ramsey to Bellamy, Bellamy to Ramsey, back to Bellamy, and he just hits it. And he just the curl. Craig Bellamy on the right wing for me. Maybe Kumas on right, Bellamy left. I don't care. Just they're both. But Bellamy is my winger.
I will say as well, yeah, I mean, to be fair, I could have easily put him. Again, I've only gone with players who I've actually seen play. But I want to just mention this as well, guys. Like we've seen a couple already posted before. Please get all your 11 players as well. We're really interested to see. Obviously, you're doing the chat right now, but when this live stream ends, make sure you upload in the actual comment section because that's what will actually get shown. This live chat won't be available apart from what the comments that we've shown here. So yeah, afterwards, get your 11. I'll be really interested. We'll be reading them all. I can still see some lovely comments coming in here. My right winger, I've gone, this player was way too good from the moment we signed him. I just knew he was, I mean, even he got an offer from Barcelona as well, I'm pretty sure. Jaden Philogene. He was the freestyle of all right winger. He just has so much flair. I just don't, the confidence to pull off some of the skills. I think when he was on loan at Hull, he did that little Rabona sort of shot away or whatever. And he did some for us, like some crosses and just, he was so, like, I think that was the breakout season he had for us. And it's a shame. I kind of wish we had him a season later because that's when he really clicked into gear. But at the same time, it probably would have been a bigger wage. But I'm just so happy we got to see him because it was the most exciting player on the wing I've ever seen in my time, at least. I just never seen guys so agile and so quick. And I don't think even he knew what he was going to do half the time, but he just knew he was going to beat his man. And again, it wasn't always the case of beating his man. It could have been, whipping the cross in. But he was just so unpredictable. And that's what made the fans really excited as well. The fact that the defender didn't have a clue what was going to happen, but neither did the fans. We lack any kind of creativity. We haven't had a good performance in God knows how long, probably since the Swansea game, really. But I kind of feel in a way that Swansea game was almost like a one-off just because of the fact there's a rivalry, and that's wrong, obviously. But yeah, he's just, for me, Jaden Philogene, it was definitely one of the highlights.
So what we got left now? I've got a 10, number 10. What do we got left now?
I've literally got my striker, so you fire away.
My number 10 is Victor Camarasa.
Oh,
like again, just I don't. What do I say? Like he came along from Spain, I think Betis, and he was just silky smooth. He was. Let's be honest. I mean,
yeah.
What a 10! What a play! I think he went back to Spain. He didn't really play and then dropped the leagues and stuff. I'm not being funny. I would have taken him in the Championship for Cardiff all day long. He was just silky smooth. I thought that goal against Leicester, the little stops the ball, puts it forward a tiny bit, sets itself up and just whips it in. What? I got it.
Calm down. Don't worry, we got it.
Victor Camarasa. My number 10 for me. Just, again, silky smooth.
I almost put him in, to be fair. That Leicester goal was just everything. You don't do that by mistake. You know what I mean? He was so slippery, I find, as well. Like he's just so. Oh man, but yeah, it's a shame really because I think he went to Crystal Palace afterwards, got injured, and then went back to Real Betis. I'm not sure if he's even with them now or if he could be retired as far as we know because I think he had a bad injury. Yeah, a bit of a shame really with him that obviously it was kind of like we were doomed to lose him because we go down. But to be fair, we really did put a fight up to the end. And see, he was quite a tall geezer as well. I come in and just like seeing like when's the last time we had like a Spaniard like come into the squad, like midfielder. It's just like we don't get these kinds of players, unless we obviously get to the Premier League, and even then.
Again, though, you look at the Spanish players who had a low like him, right? The technical level on them, or the European players, I should say, the technical level they have compared to players we produce is night and day. The differences. It's so different. I mean, I know we've produced Ramsey, and he is the freak. Let's be honest, he is the one that comes to your academy and you go, that's it. That's the peak for us now. No one else comes close to that ability. But like so, Victor Camarasa, just. Again, the technical ability he has compared to what we produce is just mind-blowing.
I'm sorry, Matt, but I'm not. I wasn't a fan of this man. I think he scored some great goals for us in the one against Watford, but whether it was coached out of him, or because at the start of the season, right, Josh Bowl at the start of the season, I felt like when he scored on his debut, I thought, oh my god, I can't even believe we signed him on loan. Like that's what was so like bizarre. I think, oh my god, we signed Josh Bowler. I think he was one of our last loan signings or last signings of the Bullet, and then he scored that goal. I'm thinking, oh my god, here we go. And he just so drifted away, and it's almost like he was coached out of taking on people 1v1s. It's like Bullet just wanted him when he got on the wing and he saw a defender in front of him. Instead of doing his technical close dribbling and knocking the ball past him, he would just turn and pass back. And I'm thinking, like, that's got to be coached out of him. But even then, right, even if the coach is saying that, at some point you've got to like start taking risks. I felt like he just didn't take enough risks sometimes. And yeah, again, he scored some important goals, but at least for me anyway, that's how I saw it. But you know,
the crazy thing is he had like some 13 goal involvements in for us.
Something like that, yeah.
Like I remember the Coventry game, he had 2 assists and that Kitchen had 2 on goals. I think he's one of the worst players I've seen play on a wide for us. And look how many goals he's been involved with. How is that possible? He was shocking.
He went missing.
The only time he actually did beat the full back, he put a ball in the box and we'd have a great chance from it. But he'd do it once every 3 games. And he wouldn't do enough dropping back to help cover the right back. And I just thought he was a poor player for us. And I'm just glad we didn't sign him on a permanent, because I know there was a lot of joke in the summer saying, oh, he's coming back to us.
With the Preston. That says everything. No disrespect to Preston, but my God, we were sort of glad to see like I felt like our Preston, man, because I'm not sure if they terminated his loan early, because he kind of, I think he came on against Derby or something. And it's just it was bad, man. And yeah, like, no disrespect to the player himself, but Jesus Christ, I thought like whatever the coach says as well, like you've got to, as a winger, your job is to whip balls in the box. Or I guess you could say the inside forward. He was not an inside forward by any means. But like either whip a ball in the box or just beat your man and whip it all along the ground. He did that at the start of the season, but he just very quickly faded for me. But you know, is what it is. I got a good comment here as well. If you didn't like Josh Bowler, you should have seen JET or Kelvin Ituhu. They make Bowler look like Messi, apparently.
Kelvin too, who was in my team of the week last year for most disappointing players, and Jet made it, to be fair, because Jet was like Tomlin in my opinion. He had all ability in the world and only turned it on when he wanted to. Like I remember, I think it was Doncaster. I remember he was turning it on against Doncaster. I think he scored, beat like 4 players, or he might have just missed a chance or whatever. Beat 4 players. But J-Man Thomas, he's funny enough. We talked him last week. He's just been sentenced now for smuggling 600,000 pounds.
Oh yeah, I saw
marijuana.
That. Drugs or something. Yeah.
You're thinking, what the hell is he doing? Could have had a great career, but his attitude was shocking.
Some players.
Kelvin too, unfortunately, disappointed. How he gone in that playoff final, I have no idea. If he was half the player his brother was, we'd have struck gold, but unfortunately, he wasn't.
Shame, really. Well, I think we've only got the strikers left now.
So, who's your striker?
And now we go to a 20-minute ad break. See you back in a second. No. It's all right. It's already been mentioned, actually, and let's make sure I don't say the wrong person now. It's Sorry Carver. I know, okay, right, people can hate me because I know people say, oh, he wasn't that good. Look, he scored an overhead kick and he did score some other good goals. I just thought he played the target man role pretty well, I think. And I know Kiefer Moore wasn't alone. But I don't know. I just something about him I fancy. I think that he could really do well, but then obviously went to Las Palmas. So I think he did that well in the end. But I don't know. It was something about him. He was a massive geezer, and he just always seemed to be in the right place at the right time. And such a crucial point the season as well. I think it was more the occasion and the circumstances we were in. Of like, if we didn't have the likes of Cedric Kipre and Sorry Carver at the time, and there would have been no chance. But we just had a few miracles happen for us, like that overhead kick. And I mean, how could you really top that? So, but go on, you obviously you can't top it.
No, again, my striker, I agree with Sue's. My striker on loan is Michael Chopra.
Oh yeah, I did see him mentioned.
Again, what a player he was for us as a striker. I mean, there's so many honourable mentions I want to give to, like Uche. During the same season we had like Tommy Doyle and drama, Uche was outstanding. He'd come on like 70 minutes, 80 minutes, hold the ball up, you couldn't get off him. He got nicked a goal as well. Eddie Johnson, another one. I loved Eddie Johnson. He absolutely worked his socks. Couldn't hit the band door to save his life. Bless him. Also got, I think I was there. He scored 3 goals, I think he did, at this time of Cardiff. One was an own goal. 2 were not.
2
honestly, I loved Eddie Johnson. He worked the socks off for us.
I would love to see him play. Yeah.
Brilliant. But for me, Chopra, for me, I think he's just his record speaks for itself. I mean, I think we paid £500,000 for him, sold him for $5 million, got him on loan from Sunderland back, and again we signed him in the summer then, permanent. I cannot pass Michael Chopra. Just amazing.
I just got to put up this comment from Graham. Talking him always nice to see him get another team promoted today. Look, I don't like promote this kind of stuff for Mox. Obviously, he's a Welsh lad, but he did celebrate quite clearly against us when he scored a goal against us. So, albeit,
the wild thing is, right, I don't rate Chris Mepham. I think Chris Mepham is one of the worst centre backs I've seen at this level of football. I think he was at, I don't know, when he was at Bournemouth, I thought he was absolutely shocking. I really didn't think he was that good. I don't rate him, and he scored a winner past us this year for Sunderland.
Well, he was being booed because he was at Sheffield before that.
Who's that now?
Chris Mepham.
Well, yeah, I just don't rate him. And I was looking at saying, I think, you're right, he's come on after like 2 minutes. I thought, they're going to score now, clearly. They will score past him now, he's playing. And I see Kiefer Moore's playing, I'm thinking, I want both these teams to lose now. Is it a way that both can just have penalty shootouts and it just doesn't end? Gibbs go win.
Match delayed or something for whatever reason. They need to get some new players. Match delayed.
But again, I don't like Sheffield United. I just think I'm not a fan of the club. I'm not a fan of Chris Wilder. Like there was a story came out that when Warnock was still employed by Borough, Wilder accepted the job, and Warnock wasn't allowed back in his office because Wilder had taken over it. When who's the Preston manager now?
What's his name? Heckingbottom.
When Heckingbottom was at Sheffield United, Wilder had already agreed to come back and take the job over from him when he was still employed. And as soon as I got to you, and you're thinking, really, that's a bit. I don't like that sort of thing. So yeah, I was happy to see Chris Wilder and Sheffield United. But I mean, we played Sunderland to start the year, and me and Matt and Sunderland fans on the show, on the chats afterwards. And to be fair, they were brilliant. So I'm glad for them they're going back up.
I mean, was it something like it was a stat they showed for Chris Wilder. He's been like in 4 playoff finals as a player or something, and a manager combined. I think he's lost all 4 or something like that. It was something.
I seen one. Sheffield United have lost all Wembley final appearances. The only one they won was 1925 and beat Cardiff in the FA Cup.
Yeah, it says a lot, doesn't it? Not?
So,
I mean, I have family up in Middlesbrough, so if it wasn't for Cardiff, I would probably be a Middlesbrough fan. But I went to see a Sunderland game. The game before they got relegated, which was against West Ham. That was my first Premier League game because I went to visit my family at the time, and I didn't tell them that I kind of supported Cardiff and Middlesbrough. But I remember when Sunderland scored from the corner spot, I thought that was pretty sick, but still got relegated. I think we lost 3-1. They had, was it Rudolph or Randolph as the goalkeeper or whatever?
Randolph.
Yeah, I just remember being there. But that's the only player I think I remember from their team. Since then, completely transformed their squad. And fair play, because I genuinely thought Labrie wouldn't work out for them for Sunderland, but he's done he looks like a serious manager now. He looks like a James Bond villain. And like people who look like James Bond villains are pretty good. You look like the Scott Parkers and everything like that. They always tend to be good managers. But yeah, commiserations to Sheffield. But I reckon they get rid of Chris Wilder. I doubt he'll stay. Well, we're still trying to find out if we're going to have a manager first. So he might be another candidate, I'm sure.
Well, before we do that, Seth,
go on.
To answer Sue's question, Gary O'Neill will be my loan team manager. He was on loan at Cardiff, which means he's ex-Cardiff. He played for Cardiff. He'd be my loan manager, and he'd be my current first team manager as well if I had the choice.
I'd probably pick the same if I'm being honest, but all Ramsey maybe, but obviously less experience. Omane Ase was a rerun of Eddie Johnson.
To be fair,
he did work hard as well, but
I think Eddie Johnson was loved more than Nias was.
Yeah, it almost didn't make sense. It was just like we needed a striker. Got a loan from Everton. Why do I think now? Yeah.
Well, again, it was wild because I'm pretty sure he ended up playing non-league English football, didn't he? I think a few seasons ago he signed for like a non-league team. I'll just check.
Oh right. He became a free agent. I'm pretty sure after we went down. I'm sure it was.
So after that, he would have Huddersfield. Macclesfield he's been playing for lately.
Oh my god, has he been scoring any goals there?
Well, they were in the Northern Premier League, of non-league. So,
oh god,
no goals. But he cost Everton £13.5 million.
I don't know. I mean, you get in this day and age now, it's kind of like you sign players based on their potential value, not on their current value. And this is the thing of like the Joby Bellingham thing as well. Now, well, that'll be interesting as well because now they got promoted. Do you think you'll stay or do you think you'll probably get snapped up by Borussia Dortmund or whatever now?
I think it'll stay for a year. I think Sunderland probably will go down, and that's nothing against them. I think they'll need to use the money to invest and build a more better side. I think they're very young. I think he'll stay for the Premier League season so he can say I played Premier League football. Because it could be a one-side chance for him. Like, I'm not saying other clubs won't come in for him, but he couldn't have fallen on the same route as his brother by going to Germany, then maybe Spain or Italy or somewhere like that. So be a chance to play Premier League football. So I think he'd stay for 1 year at least. If they get relegated, Sunderland will probably cash in then on all his money because again the Premier League season as well. They're going to add 20 million extra to that because his experience, they can say, in there. So.
I just thought of an interesting question. This one for you, Rhys, but also in the comments as well. If you had to sign any one of the Sunderland players in the current squad for Cardiff, who would you sign? Forget how realistic it is. You could say, let's just say a loan signing, right, of one of Sunderland's current players. Who would you sign on loan? Doesn't matter how realistic or not. I would see what everyone else saying. I would probably take 09. I just think he's a proper leader and he's got that like Perry NG sort of like, messing around kind of thing, but he does it properly. And it's a shame he went off in the first minute today, I think. I think he broke his shoulder or something.
I like Lugo 9. This is...
Oh, we got Rig here.
I mean... But I've been impressed with Ballard. I said that off. I think he's solid. A bit of a bully as well to opposite strikers. I like that.
Oh, yeah, I would take the keeper, Graham. Oh, yeah, like we said earlier.
How about the owner?
Who, sorry?
Take the owner.
If you're the loan in the owner for a season.
I would see how much money he's worth. He's one of the Louis Dreyfus family members. They are billionaires. Like absolute trillionaire, whatever they are. They are ridiculously well financial.
To be fair, Tan's not too bad off himself, mind. If he's invested 250 mil this season, he's obviously, that's obviously means not a lot to him.
This guy shows up.
Fair enough.
I wouldn't take Mepa, myself sure. Simon Moore was ex-Cardiff anyway.
Wouldn't take Chris Metman, would you?
Oh, absolutely not. I honestly, I would cry if I looked at our centre-half pair next year and it was Mepa and Chambers. I would cry. I would be absolutely sick. I'd probably ask for a refund on the season ticket because again, I don't think I could cope with them too. Chris
Rodriguez, good show. I mean, to be fair, I would take any of their players right now. Maybe not Mepham, but go on.
Don't forget they got Jayden Danns on loan from Liverpool who were injured after one game.
Oh my god, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, again, Jayden Danns from Liverpool's there on loan. He got injured after one game from. This is it though. The problem we got is we could take any one of them players on loan, Job, Rig, any of them, and we'd probably ruin them. We would take out all creativity, all freedom off them, all flair, and just try and turn them robotic. Do this, this, and this. This is your job. The ball goes there. You need to be here doing this. And it was stifle them. And I think that's what's happened to so many players we've had over the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I have noticed the time. We'll be wrapping up about 10 minutes or so. I just thought it'd be good to talk the last few minutes about playoffs and like what we expect now as well. And I think, yeah, you totally right. I think like this is the thing. It's been with so many years, at least since I've supported Cardiff City in the 2016 season. I just find that whatever player we get, and look, it doesn't matter what manager we have, we just never seem to get the best out of players. Ruben Colwell, I think, is the biggest sort of example right now. It's like he's always been our player, right? But I just know that if this season now in the League One, I got a feeling he'll stay this season, but if nothing happens, he'll definitely leave next season, is what I'm thinking. And I just feel like he's someone that we need to find a manager who's going to get the best out of him, because if this isn't the season, then he will get sold incredibly cheap. I'm pretty sure Alex Robertson will go, but for some reason, I don't know why, people are talking as if he's going to stay. I mean, I know he was on the new season tickets of like ad, but that doesn't mean a lot. I know Salek was as well. I think even Callum Robertson was, but I think we're pretty certain he's going to go. But yeah, it's just a shame really, because I find there's so many players who other clubs they worked amazing after they left ours, and it's just like, and it's almost like the opposite way around. Then when we get former Premier League players like Callum Chambers, they get even worse then. So it's like, I don't know. It's the Cardiff City way, is it not?
You wouldn't think it's possible to get worse than that, but somehow he upped his level, didn't he? Let's be honest. But again, like it's so disappointing because we have a habit of signing players and absolutely just destroying them or taking out any sort of creative freedom. You just think now, imagine Peter Whittingham and his sort of side. They would have destroyed Whittingham. It would have absolutely, again, I can only imagine what a Ruben would have been like in a Dave Jones side. The creative freedom.
What do you think it is then? Is it the dressing room sort of like attitude sort of thing, or is it something else? Or do you I have no clue. I don't get it.
I think there's a lot going on behind the scenes this year. A lot's going on behind the scenes. It's not as close as people think it is behind the scenes. The team, there's a lot of division on that side. There's cliques and stuff, and it's not right. Secondly, I think it's a case of we've got the right players at the wrong time. So we've got the right players now, but because we've been fighting relegation 4 to 5 years, everything's become very rigid on that side. There's no fluidity when you attack with the ball. It's very rigid. Ball is here, you are here, you do this. You see it now. We get the ball, 4 positions. The right back, the right winger, the 10 and the 8, all 4 of them are stood in a small little square on the right-hand side, not to lose the ball. So it's always been cautious, don't give the ball away. Rather than actually get the wide man wide, put the ball in the box, getting the 8, the 10 and the 9 in the box, they're all stuck to one side. So I think what's happened is it's just all been taken out of them. It's become very rigid. And we need a manager who's not afraid to go in there and go, look, I need a year or 2 to sort this out. You want a philosophy? That's fine. Give me time. Let me bring some creativity back to these players and give some freedom to them. Because again, Ramsey's best game for us was Swansea last season. We beat them, was it the 2-0 win at home? Ramsey played at 10 at a free roll. He ran the show. In that free roll, he absolutely ran the show. The wide players worked off him brilliantly. He was outstanding. We've not given Ruben a free roll, I don't think. It's become rigid to the point where he's just drifting to the right-hand side. And everything seems to go through him because he's there. Regardless if he's been marked at the game, they will look for him. And I think it's because they've been told to find him more, rather than going, if he's marked, you go forward. Let him drop deeper, drag the defender with him. You go further forward, find the space, we'll get the ball to you. Things like that has just been coached out to them. And to be fair to Rhys, I think he's doing a job with his hands tied behind his back. I just think it's a lot going on this season, and it's just been a shit show overall.
I've got 2 or 3 comments I want to come to just before we wrap up. Again, guys, I see you get loads of green names today in the comments, so please, if you haven't already, become a member. Again, cheap as chips, literally like the price of a cup of coffee. And again, like I say, if it keeps going the way it is in the UK, it'll probably be 10 times cheaper than the price of a cup of coffee. But yeah, one of the ones Ian said here, 2 arrogant managers back-to-back. Fuller used to believe he was a saviour and Rhys' favourite player Rhys' favourite player was Rhys. What do you think of that comment there?
Like, I love Bullet, but I think he understood that we didn't have the players to play attacking football when he first came in. So he was ultra defensive, hoping on counter, and I think that's underappreciated now because we look back and go, it was boring. But it kept us up, it did. And I think you're looking at that thinking, the start we had, all right, it was Derby game was the only one I thought we wouldn't lose. Don't forget, we lost to Burnley, who got promoted. Lost to Leeds, who got promoted. Lost to Sunderland, who got promoted. There's some big games there. I mean, Derby's the one we should have actually won. We didn't. We lost by 1-0. How we lost 1-0, I have no idea, because Ebu Adams missed an open goal. Should have been 2-0. And the Swansea game, I thought we were very poor until the second half when we came alive. And that's been a theme we've had for the last few years now, where we were shit for the first 60, 70 minutes, and then we turn up. And then I think I felt for Rhys because he came in, he got to tune out the players. And then all of a sudden, when these things are going well, Turnbull picked up an injury and was out for a few weeks. So he's got to replace Turnbull. Then Robertson picks an injury up. So all of a sudden, then the midfield is completely different. And then the back line gets demolished with injuries and stuff. And it's constantly changing. And I just think he needed help. I think he wasn't really helped. We know we needed a right back in January. We didn't get a right back. The club didn't want to sign one. We needed a left back. The club didn't want to go sign one. It says it all. I just think the club let him down as well. I feel for both of them because I don't think both were backed the way they should have been backed. Both, I know, went to the board and said, I want these players X, Y, and Z. And both times the club half-assed an approach. I said, unfortunately, we can't do it. The Bullet one, why he withdrew his contract in December. He asked for a player, I think it was midfielder. The club approached the player, came back and said, we're not going to go for him. He then sent us a new deal, so the club signed Turnbull for $2 million from Celtic. I'm thinking, well, clearly he wasn't Bullet's man because Bullet wouldn't play him. So again, you've got club signing players for managers. Managers been told you've got to use these players. It's a shit show throughout the club, but I felt for both of them. I don't think it's their fault. I just think the club has been in a shit show for a few years now. I mean, I read the fan advisory board minutes, and Dalman said in there, I think it's unfair to say we've got no one with no football experience here. I've been working in football for years now. I thought, mate, no offence, if I was doing the job you've done, I'd be sacked by now. You can't sit there and say you've got experience because you clearly haven't.
It's a bit insulting when we've just got relegated as well to say like, oh, no, we know what we're doing now. It's like, well, clearly not. And even, it isn't a coincidence that teams get relegated, right? They get relegated for clear reasons. And to be fair, right, this championship season has been, I looked at my predictions as well. I looked at the final football table. It was so open and there were so many different teams that could have gone down. I thought Hull were terrible. I thought Preston were. Derby, I think they put up a bit of a fight, but even they were disappointed because many people in their predictions had them to finish around just like lower mid-table. And there were just so many more. And QPR, again, another poor team. They finished like quite high up. I think it was like 12th or 13th, something like that. I just thought there were so many teams that they were so dire, but we were just that much more impressive to be even worse than them. And I say that in the most satirical way or whatever, because we just were the worst team all season. And there's plenty of times, right, where we had, winning streaks. It was unbeaten runs. That's what it was. And I just remember I kept saying like, yeah, but the unbeaten run was like, you were picking at straws. It was 2 wins in like 7 games. The rest were just draws. And I was like, this isn't what we're going to keep us up. The first game against Sunderland, I literally said to my granddad watching next to me, said, this is relegation performances. And people were saying, and I said afterwards, I think in the comments of before I was on this videos, and people were saying like, oh, just relax, guys. It's just the first game. But like, I could just see it ahead of time. I'm thinking like, look, I'm not saying we are getting relegated, but we can't be putting these performances in because other teams will look at us going like, oh, it doesn't matter. We're not in a good run of form, but we're playing Cardiff next. And that's what happened. They come to us and the form would change. But yeah.
You said there though, Derby showed fight. I can't think of us showing fight at all this year. 9 wins in 46 games is pathetic. We signed individuals, not a team. And it showed on the pitch. We didn't have a team. We had individuals. I mean, I'll be again, you look at this, you look at that lineup, right? Horvath. I'm sorry, but one of the worst goalkeepers I've ever seen in the club. One of the worst. He
looks scared. Like, he always looks really scared. I don't know why.
I mean, again, I remember the Villa game. He dropped his water bottle before the game started, and I thought that was a great start. He had the game of his life, that game. He's one of the worst keepers I've seen Hobart is. Absolute garbage. Who signed him? The club, probably. Chambers, ex-Arsenal, ex-Villa. One of the worst centre-backs we've had in recent years. Can't defend. Couldn't stop a cold. Honestly, he couldn't catch a cold, I should say, actually. That'll be funny. He's that bad, right? Left back, we had to play a left winger. Right back, we had to play a centre midfielder. Didn't address those positions. Midfield was just all over the place because, again, injuries everywhere. There's so many issues. El Ghazi, and that'll be funny, he looked so off it all season, and they kept on playing there because there was no one else to go there. It was just embarrassing the whole season. And the fact then, like, you've got Dalman saying now, there's a plan and stuff. Every other year he says there's a plan. When Bullet said his he said it's finally good to see there's a plan in place. There's not. In the fan advisory board, he said we would welcome more experience on the board. Of course we would. Unfortunately, it's up to Tad. And I'm thinking, you're not chairman. You should be addressing the fans more then. If you don't agree with it, address the fans more. Talk to the fans. Come to games. Do something. But he does fuck all, and then he sits there and plays innocent then. Like, again, the whole thing is a joke. How Ken Chew's still in a job, I don't know. I just think it's an absolute farce, honestly. And I don't think there'll be any changes this year. I don't think there'll be any real changes. It'll just be paper in the cracks. We hired outside company to find a manager. You should be happy. That's what it'll be. We are putting in money every month for you. You should be happy. That's what it is. And again, next year we could have a mid-table. We could have fighting relegation. It could be anything. That's the one. It could be anything. And all we'll hear is then, of course, Tan cares. Of course, we're doing what we can. Of course, there's a plan. And it's just on repeat. The sooner the three of them fuck off out of our club, the better. I can't start. Honestly, I would start playing the lottery if I thought I had a chance of winning, just to buy the club for my honestly.
Well, there goes the interview with Dalman then. No, it's long gone, to be fair. I think we all know that. But there's one thing I want to point out. We'll be done by 15:15 now, but I wanted to go back to Jonathan's comment from a while ago. As you can see by my subtitle of Brian Barry's Barmy Army. Look, I don't know how true this is. It could all be just rumours as far as I'm aware. But Brian Barry Murphy apparently has been rumoured to be linked with a job as one of the candidates. Now, I know what I said, right? And I wanted to, go for someone who's experienced. But you can't ignore a coach from Man City. And look, I don't know, like, from what I've heard, right, he's done some amazing things and developing youth players. If we get him in, and I'm pretty sure we won't, but if he's one of the candidates and we do get him in, I can get really excited about that. Even someone who has very little managerial experience, I just know that with the youngsters he's got, he will know how to use them. And I just know that. And even with all the stuff that you'll get put through with the board, and even if, for example, he never gets a single player that he wants from transfers, at least he will know how to use. He's good with youth players. And I just think now it's now or never. But again, it's like the case of, I can't remember if Dalman quoted this. So I'm like, oh yeah, we want to make sure that we always, we keep our youth as, like, we invest in that, continue to invest in that, because that's like our most successful part at the moment. You say that, but then we never, whatever manager we have or you pick, they never play the youth. And I know we do play some younger players, but they're not youth players. They're not players that, like, have been dying to get into things. Well, what's the point then, right? I think we won the league for the under-21 or something, or it was, I'm pretty sure it was, or maybe it was under-18s. I can't remember exactly. But it's like, I know it's not about winning games with youth, but, like, Christ's sake, if your team's in the top 2 or 3 teams of the league for under-18s and the 21s, surely at least you start to think, like, hang on, there might be some decent prospects here. But no, we wait till right in the season, to the last game of the season, to introduce Niakua. We wait until we play Aston Villa to introduce Dylan Ola. I have so many things. My biggest pet peeve with them is the youth, because I just know, like, how many players are dying to prove their worth. And again, like, Kapako was injured, was unfortunate to get injured at Stoke. But I think since he come back, I think he's a little bit shaky in his passing, but he just offers something completely different. And the fact that we haven't really had any right backs this season, and we could have just used him for the time being. I'm not saying it was like, oh, he'll do, but that's, to me, just bonkers. So I just hope whatever manager we get in, they realise the potential in the youth. But I just know they're not going to have much bargaining power over who they sign.
But he's just left Leicester as a coach. You haven't got to bring him back, bring him as a manager. You can bring him back as a first team coach. You can come in or assistant or do you mean you can build? This is
They
it.
wouldn't do that though.
We don't know. You might be looking for another job. For a chance to go to a club which has potential. I mean, we never seem to build a staff behind anyone. Like we've had Bamba in and we let him go. You're thinking you should have maybe kept him. We've had other coaching staff in, and we've got Chris Gunn doing it now. We'll probably let him go, and he'll probably go on and have a wonderful career as a coach elsewhere. Just thinking, keep these coaches there, because then all of a sudden there's a pathway there for youngsters into the first team because the coaches have been there for the last 5-10 years. They'll know what's needed, but we just don't.
I think the way I see it, and I think the way Tan sees it, is they're paying an extra person and they don't want to do that. I don't think they would fork out. I don't think they understand this way. I don't think they understand the reason of they just look at how much a player wages. Now, don't get me wrong. Obviously, we have one of the highest wage bills, but we've just signed individual talents that just didn't work out. I just don't think in terms of a staff or managerial appointments that they actually see oh, you know what? If we actually get a really experienced coach in, maybe they might have some better ideas of who they want to sign. It's there's no it's Tan wants to be the owner. He also wants to be the manager in some ways. So, making sure the goalkeepers are getting their goals in every season. He wants to sign the players. He wants to do everything, but at the same time, he's not at the club. So you gotta, at some point, if you want to be far removed from the club, I don't obviously recommend that. But that's what he's doing. At least leave some football people in charge, so that you've got some kind of confidence. Because you see a few owners do it as well. They just leave the club alone. But at least they leave it with a football instruction in place. I think even Kortrijk, they're talking about now getting a director of football. But if I'm being honest, with the greatest respect to Kortrijk, what's that?
I think they had one. They just sacked him. They haven't going to replace him.
Well, there we are. But the greatest respect to Kortrijk, I think Cardiff is taking up the majority of Vincent Tan's investment right now. You prioritise Cardiff. I mean, you prioritise both, obviously. But let's be honest, there isn't anywhere near as much money in Belgian football as there is in the Championship. And, again, you can hate me for that or whatever, but the way I just see it, it's almost so backwards how they had more of a footballing structure than us, and they were considerably less, popular club. And it's just ironic, back-to-back relegations, us and them.
I think both of us are running absolute shambles. And I got Ken Chu smiling, talking about the plans of the future. You can't even plan fucking tomorrow, mate. Let's be honest. Never mind future. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Here we are then. Let's end on this one then. I've just lost it. Okay, so the question was... Oh, here we are. Susan put it here. Rhys, who do you think that the three are in terms of the three candidates for the job? I'm assuming. Put your comments in the chat as well if you have an idea of who you think the three candidates are. I have my three, but I don't know.
Who I think they are, or who I want.
So, well, both really. So, who do you think the three are narrowed down to? Think of Tan. Think of the board now. Who do you think he's narrowed the three options down to?
Des Buckingham is one of them. I think. Everett, I think. And a foreign manager, I think. I'm not sure who that one is.
Allegedly.
The three I'd like to be considered for the job, though, would be Darren Moore. I think he's done a wonderful job, but Doncaster playing fantastic football, got him in the playoffs. We led to Sheffield Wednesday, took them up to the playoffs. He's just won promotion with Port Vale. I think he's really good. Gary O'Neill, I would take. He's got Premier League experience. He's worked with some big egos. I think we got a few big egos there. We need that. And I would like someone like a Spaniard or someone who knows the European markets a bit better, maybe.
Munoz, that was Sheffield Wednesday. He did well, didn't he? We weren't linked with him, to be fair.
It's just...
Ruben Sellers is a good shout. I think it's probably a bit too soon. But yeah, Hull going down next season. I can't wait for them to go down. They've escaped a few times as well, mind. I think Liam Messina was just bizarre. They sacked him.
They sacked him, but do you remember they sacked him because he refused to drop Brian Allsop? Because the owner kept requesting that he would drop Allsop, and Liam Messina refused. So then all of a sudden, they sacked him, and the owner sold Allsop to Birmingham. on his own accord.
So I kind of got a bit sidetracked. We have a special guest appearance here. Go on then, let's get Al's comment of the day, mate. Give him his spotlight. Ramos's coaching badges. What badges do you have, Bob? Well, I had a Blue Peter badge, if I have to ask myself before, and I feel pretty special for that. I don't know where else. Probably my swimming badges as well when I went in the deep end and braved it as a big boy. That was some badges I've got. Bob, I'm not sure if you can top that, mate, but
Goldfish 1, 2, and 3. That's the badges, isn't it?
Oh man, I remember that. God, go back to swimming, traumatizing days. Anyway, guys, thank you everyone for joining tonight. Honestly, I see throughout there it's probably the highest viewers for a Saturday Night Live that I've taken at least. Sorry, I can still see the comments coming in. It's hard to focus. I mean, Rhys has got red now, and I have to. Yeah, so again, if you haven't already, become a member, and I would appreciate as well over the last few weeks so much support as well. And again, don't forget to subscribe, because I know a lot of people, they watch us, but they don't actually subscribe. So please do that, because the moment we get to 2,000 subs, we can start uploading even more content than daily content, which would be really exciting. And hopefully we'll get some news, managerial news, hopefully before the end of the month would be really nice. I'll be back here probably during the week, maybe Thursdays, but I'll always be your Saturday Night Live host as far as things go. And that's it from me. So thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you all soon.